Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the New to Wrestling podcast. This week, we watched the August 18th, 1997 edition of Raw is War, and the match card is as follows. In our opening contest, we had the Hart Foundation, Owen Hart and the British Bulldog taking on the Legion of Doom. Flash Funk takes on Brian Christopher. Ken Shamrock takes on the Sultan. Jesse James takes on Brian Pillman in a dress. The Patriot takes on Vader. And in our main event, we have some unlikely tag teams. We have Mankind and The Undertaker teaming up to take on Shawn Michaels and Hearst Helmsley.
Viewer discretion is advised.
All right, let's get into it.
I have to be honest, I'm really becoming a fan of the unlikely tag duo. And it's like they clocked that. It's like they clocked that the Stone Cold Shawn Michaels of it all
right
was like such a serve and ended up being so good that then it was like Stone Cold and Dude Love, and now it's like let's just mix and match everybody. Like let's just see what happens. Let's decoupage the whole wrestling.
I 100%.
And it's still working for me. And I'm sure there'll be a day where I'm finally like, can we just have teams like what's happening? But right now, I'm very into it.
No, very here for it. Enjoying it a lot.
Yep.
Hello everyone. If you are new, this is Kelsey. She is also new. She is the new and new to wrestling. I am Xavier. I am not so new. Hag. All right.
One day that'll get old too, but it's not today.
Today is not the day. Today is not the day. No. So we are still basically experiencing the fallout from SummerSlam. This is just the gift that really keeps on giving. And we have a lot of things that happened last week that kind of get further explained, broken down. So let's get into it. The first thing that we're gonna get a little further explanation on is ravishing Rick Rude's involvement with Shawn Michaels rather, and how this whole thing like came about. Essentially, Rick Rude comes out and he addresses the Atlantic City audience by calling them fat sweat hogs,
which sweat hogs,
hilarious.
I've never heard that word before, but I'm a fan.
I'm certainly not mad about it. I thought that was very creative.
No.
He basically goes on to refer to himself as an insurance salesman. He's like, you give me the bucks, you get the bang, and you're like, ooh, okay. Which
I was like, oh, so you're okay.
Oh, got it. I was
shame. No
yeah,
shame
I mean,
in that.
you do you, but like, just said it so boldly.
I know.
Vince goes on to ask Rick Rude, he's like, who is your like benefactor? Like, who is this? He's like, you don't need to know. All you need to know is that I was paid a handsome sum. He's like, I don't know why you're being so nosy. That's like weird.
But also like, then why are you out here? Like, I don't know. Sometimes moments like that, I'm like,
he didn't explain anything at all.
Anything at all. I know more about insurance now. That's about it.
No, fully. So much so that he even goes on to like quote like Allstate, and he's like a good neighbor, Rick Rude is there, and you're like, sure.
Who knew? That was actually the most shocking part of this whole thing. Is like I had no idea State Farm has been using the same slogan for 30 years.
Yeah, and here I thought like Progressive was doing a lot with Flow. Like I thought that had like really ran its course. Little did I know, Allstate, on the other hand, has literally been using the same line the entirety of our existence. So
and our entire life, that is so true. Like I thought Geico did too much with the caveman, but here they are, like a good neighbor. State Farm is there in 1997.
Right, fully. So he basically ends the promo. He's like, if somebody, crosses me, essentially, they're in for a rude awakening. It's a double entendre. It's the name of his finishing move. as
Is it
well.
really?
Yeah.
Well,
As well as, just a general, English phrase, rude awakening. So
love.
again, we left this promo with kind of no answers.
Nothing.
Other than Rick Rude is in insurance. Love to see it.
That's it. I mean, and listen, you get your money where you gotta get it, Rick. That's Rickolas.
Fully.
That's
Right.
your gig, then that's your gig.
Yeah. So after that, we get a quick Hart Foundation promo. Basically, they are addressing the Legion of Doom, being like, this is just a preview for the Fatal 4-Way, where it will get fatal. So I was like, oh, okay, Owen's out here breaking necks and killing people. Love to see it. I was like,
Where?
okay. Um, and then it cuts to a backstage little like angle of Sergeant Slaughter and Shawn Michaels just arguing inaudibly. Love to see it. I
They
love
were
these like
arguing.
backstage like whatever. And Shawn Michaels is so animated that
I was just
it
gonna say
looks like a
that.
cartoon. Like it looks like um I don't know. It gave very what why can't I think of what is Jessica Rabbit? Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Yes. It's
Like he's
always
just all over the place.
it's always how I always get to Who Framed Roger Rabbit is Jessica Rabbit.
No,
And
correct.
that is the T.
You're right.
It's always like Jessica Rabbit,
Right.
Roger. Who
It's
Framed
like
Roger Rabbit?
if I'm trying to think of the Wild Man, it's like Sable.
Yeah, 100%.
Right.
And as it should be. But I
Mm-hmm.
love it. I love these little like backstage sneaky cam moments.
Same.
Like
I'm
where
here
they're
for
like,
it. Like that they've introduced in the last couple weeks.
yes, because I also love later on they do it with like Triple H China, and it's like back like they're it almost looks like they're back in like the equipment, like
No,
hiding while they're
fully.
capturing the which I love here for
No.
that.
Because what I want is a camera angle of the camera guy getting that shot.
No,
I want
period.
I want to see that MFer just like crouched in some like between some like a garbage can
Yes.
and
I
like
want
oh so
the
good.
behind the scenes of the behind the scenes.
Yeah,
The
that's
making
really
of the making of how we made it.
right. Love that. Love
Always
that.
want more tea, more info, more layers.
Someone make it happen. Um
I will watch it voraciously.
no, fully. I might be the only one, but it's fine.
But I'll be your number one fan.
So that takes us into our first match, which is the Hart Foundation taking on the Legion of Doom. We get a flashback to last week, the match between the Legion of Doom and the Godwins, where the Godwins came in, picked up the victory with a bucket. Um, it was a weird match to begin with. We talked about it last week. If
Mhm.
you missed it, watch our Halloween episode. You will also
Yes.
see me dressed up as Bret Hart and Kelsey dressed up as Dude Love. So if you missed that, definitely go give it a peep see. So this match is
Not a peepsy.
she said, "Oh." This match is great in the beginning for the most part. They're both well-established teams.
Yeah.
So you know that it was going to be a lot of back and forth, a lot of reversals, a lot of good tag team wrestling, and there was. But
Mhm.
of course, the Godwins make their presence known. They come down, they distract the referee. Henry Godwin comes in with the bucket, hits Animal in the head. Owen picks up the pin from there, and then all three teams start fighting after because, of
Yeah.
course,
I
obviously.
have to. I have
Um,
to.
yeah, it was a pretty short-lived fight, of course, broken up by like all of the officials. The Hart Foundation moves on. They're like, "Why are we here? Why are we beefing like this? I didn't ask for this."
Yeah. They
So
like threw a few punches and then they were like, actually, I'm gonna go.
no, yeah, no,
I
fully. They were like,
this
"Wait,
was
y'all
see ya.
want each other, so like we're gonna
I don't
let
know
you
why
be."
I'm getting involved. I
No,
have bigger fish to fry, to be honest.
he's like, "We're gonna be in a match anyway. Like y'all do
I'll
your
see
thing.
you there. Like
I'll
this
see you
is
when it counts, when the title's on the line."
swear, yeah. And I respect that. I do. No one to say when.
Then we get a backstage promo from Mankind. He's of course just sitting in the ground somewhere, and he's I liked this a lot. He goes, "My mind has not forgotten. My body cannot forget," in reference to his battles like with the Undertaker.
Love.
And basically, he goes on to be like, "I could be the most loyal partner you ever had, or the final nail in your coffin. So we'll see how it goes." And you're like,
And I
"Oh."
love that he's so honest. I love the
Mm-hmm.
transparency of like, I actually I don't know if you can trust me. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't decided.
No,
So do with
fully.
that what you will.
Yeah, and Mick Foley truly using his gift of gab in 1997 and using it in 2024. If you've seen him out here just like on news,
Girl.
he's been all over the place. He's been
Love
talking his
that.
truth, and I love to see it. That's all I'm going to say on that. But
Mm-hmm.
he's fantastic, and
Yes.
I all of his promos have really like taken a step up. I feel like once we were like allowed to be like, oh, this man's intelligent, he was actually like allowed to be like, oh wait, let me not like insult the fans' intelligence and just give them like run of the mill promos. Like let me like make them think a little bit, and I love it.
Love. I love it because honestly, we get so much of the other type of just screamy, screamy, yelly, yelly, gonna bash his face in, la la
Right.
la.
And you know, and every wrestling promo is some variation of like, I'm the best, my shit don't stank. Like, which it is.
Right.
Um,
As it
but
should
you
be.
know, there's just there's just more creative ways to do it, you know?
Yes.
So that takes into a promo from the Heartbreak Kid himself. He's still pissed about the general WWF's reaction to SummerSlam and his involvement in that match. He basically is like, he feels like he's getting the shaft because he's not supposed to be wrestling The Undertaker until like a month from now, but all of a sudden he's put in a tag team match with a partner that's not his partner and against The Undertaker. So he's none too pleased.
Which makes sense, to be honest.
Yeah, I
Again,
get it.
I like the whole like he did a bad job reffing. I just still I won't buy it. I just
No,
won't. I was there. I saw it.
and it's
It
just
was
not
fine.
true. Um,
So I get it.
No, fully. Next we have Sunny making her entrance because she is going to be the special guest ring announcer. Apparently, she's the special guest ring announcer. I don't know for all of Brian Christopher's matches, I guess.
Like, what is
But
this?
she came out looking pretty good in a little blue two
Oh,
piece. It was fantastic.
obsessed. Her outfits for guest ring announcer are better than some of her managerial outfits.
No, fully, 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 fully.
This little blue disco hollow something something, and her hair was up in a little half up, half down. Super
Mm-hmm.
cute. Obsessed.
Mm-hmm. Then it got weird
Then it got really weird.
because Flash Funk's music plays, but Brian Christopher comes out, and then Sunny's like starts the Flash Funk like introduction, and she's like, "Oh, just kidding. I guess it's gonna be Brian Christopher." And then the music changes like while he's halfway like down
Down
the
the
ramp,
ramp.
and we're like, "Whoa, I guess it is live television. What's going on?" like,
Yeah, the sound guys really took liberties this episode. They really were having themselves a time because there were a few moments where we were like, "Huh?
yeah, yeah,
What's
fully.
happening?" But it was funny because like Jerry tried to save it. He tried to be
Mm,
like, "Well, it's just because Brian Christopher won't be outdone. He's number 1, and so he's not going to come out number 2. Like he's got to just get
mm.
himself out there." And it's like,
All
"Okay."
right, sure,
Or there
sure,
was just
sure.
or there was just okay. It's fine.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Nice spin. So next we get a little quick little, what is this? Oh yeah. Um both Brian Christopher and Flash Funk hit us with like mini promos. Brian Christopher, the gist of it is like, Flash, you're gonna be a flash in the pan. I want to fight a heavyweight so that my loss isn't like, doesn't mean anything. Flash Funk was basically like, if you think you're going to use me as a stepping stone, you have another thing coming. I don't know who
Period.
you're messing with.
Which respectfully, and I feel like we never get Flash Funk promos.
No. And I
I like
kind of
this.
understand why. It was all right. It was fine.
Yeah, I mean, I will say he does what he can with the character he's given because that how trying to be intimidating in that like leotard thing, the one piece suit, and that weird pimp hat.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's got to
Like, what are you
it's a
supposed to
tough.
say? Like, we're gonna get funky in the ring? Like, I
No,
don't.
my god.
I just it's. I feel like he's pigeonholed a little bit in terms of what he's able to do.
I
So it's
agree.
like, all right, like for what we got,
I know it just felt very like, I don't know, lacked emotion,
it's
which I mean, I get it. You definitely just got like thrown into this random match. So it's not like you have a lot of like
you
story to
know
go off of, but
true.
But still. I have a note that just says Flash kicked Brian right out of the ring. I love to see it. That move was fantastic. I also have a note that Vince on commentaries, he's like, in reference to Flash Funk, he's like, he's so funky. And you're like, and I just
Vincent.
have another note that follows that just goes, it's 1997, not 1977.
1977.
I was like, I don't
Vince.
know. Yeah, it was
Like, I don't need to relive your days of yore.
I never,
He's
literally
so
never.
fun.
Because we did in a documentary format and you're heinous, so I'm good. Like,
Oh my god. The trauma. Can't wait
yeah,
to
so the
rewatch that.
as
And
the match is like carrying on, Jerry is just insistent that Brian Christopher needs to win via pile driver because that's Jerry's finishing move. And again, for somebody who's really trying to distance themselves from not claiming this person as your child, maybe don't insist that he does your exact move set. That might help. I don't
yeah, I would say
know.
so. And the fact that they're still carrying on with this in such a sincere way is crazy.
Right.
Like Jerry went on a diatribe about how like just because he respects me as a wrestler and looks up to me and blah blah blah, like this whole thing doesn't mean we're related or whatever. And Jerry was like, or it does. Like I don't, what are
Right.
we doing? Like
No,
this,
I just don't get like what is this? Like I don't why?
are we holding
What do
off for the
you get from
baptism? Like
not
the
claiming him
christening?
at this point?
Swear.
Like we all see it. We all have eyes.
So, what now?
It just doesn't make any sense. Um So Jerry gets off of commentary, runs over while Brian Christopher is like trying to climb the top ropes to like complete a move. And he's like, hey, you should really do the pile driver. And like Brian Christopher's
Shut
like,
up.
like I'm literally in the middle of a match, which was the
I'm
most
climbing
relatable
the
he's
ropes.
ever been. And
Swear.
uh Flash Funk knocks him off the ropes so that he essentially splits the middle of the rope and lands crotch first.
Love. JR
Then
goes like, I hope that Jerry wasn't expecting any grandkids.
no, yeah, and you're like, because not gonna happen now.
Yeah.
Um Flash hits him with a 450 splash, which is insane. Just
Crazy.
that's a lot of degrees to be spinning. Flash picks up the victory, and then after we get a little father son beef in the ring because Brian Christopher's like, "Yo, what was that? Like, hello."
I will
So
say I understand the feeling of your dad telling you things at inopportune moments. Where
yeah,
like you're in the middle of something and they just like are like, "Hey," and you're like, "What?" And they tell you something so ridiculous. Like, "I saw a deer in the backyard." You're like,
right.
"Okay, thanks."
I could
I'm like,
not be less interested.
like that's I'm happy for you, but I'm literally like taking a test. Like I like do you know what I mean? Like I'm just like,
No, oh, fully. Oh,
"Okay,
full
thank
or they
you."
request a task while you're fully in the middle of doing the previous task that they have also asked you to do, and you're like, "Do you want me to
Stop
stop
this
this
or
one and do that one, or do you
uh,
want me to spin it?" Because the list keeps getting longer, and now I'm lost.
and
Like,
I still have school tomorrow. And I have to do my homework also too. Uh, okay.
yeah,
Like
I feel like he just had that
so
moment, but just all on the top rope.
yeah, no, 100%. And so that was for one moment I was like, okay,
Okay, Brian
relatable.
Christopher, I get
Relatable
you.
moment. I'm
Yeah,
here with you. I'm here with you. And I will never excuse that nasty laugh.
no,
Curdles my blood, chills me to the marrow every time. I hate it.
right.
But for one moment, I was with you. I was
Mhm,
here.
mhm. I got it. Next we get a promo from The Undertaker, and basically he's like, patience is a virtue. My patience for Shawn Michaels is no more. That is
Mhm.
not real. And then he goes on to address Mankind, and he's like, oh, I don't forgive and forget either. Don't you worry. And he's like, if you decide to get involved in any manner that isn't helping me, I will take you out just as well as Shawn Michaels. So don't
Yeah.
you fret. And I was like,
He's
oh,
like, everyone can die.
right.
I don't care.
No, fully.
Doesn't
Fully,
matter to
fully,
me
fully.
how many bodies are on the floor. I am the sole collector.
Right. I love to
Love.
see it. Love to see it. Next we have the Sultan taking on Ken Shamrock. The Sultan really has just been getting the short end of the stick
My God.
recently.
This poor man. I'm
He's
starting to feel bad for him.
he's starting to essentially just be used as like enhancement talent at this point.
Yeah.
Because at first he comes in and like he's got two like future Hall of Famers with him. He's like like starting to be presented as like this big bad, and then they never see him again. Like
Mm-hmm.
they just rip him off of television for like a month and a half, and then he comes back and is losing every week.
Like, I'm
Crazy.
confused. And also, like, Bob Backlund has evaporated. Not that I'm upset.
No, I'm not complaining,
I'm not
but
complaining. I'm just saying, like, what I don't, it just, it's being, it was hyped up too much for what the flop that it took.
right. Right. No, I agree. My first note is just Ken body yada yada.
Oh my God. We were talking, it's just his thighs are so gigantic that he has to almost like swing his legs around each other
Yeah, as
for
if
him
he's
to
wearing
walk
like one of
forward.
those dresses that's like too like not like too tight, but like really like tight with like
Like a
the
mermaid.
slit. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
And he
Yes.
has
I
to
love that you
just
know this.
and you just have to kind of like just it's almost like foot rolling in marching
Yes.
band, like just to
Yeah,
get
no,
from point A to point B.
100%. Or it's like when you wear like those really big like evening gowns and they say you have to like kick and
Mm.
then step so you
Otherwise
don't
you're gonna
fall on the
step on it.
fabric. Yeah, which was apparently like the when Jennifer Lawrence like fell going up to the
That was
receive
her
her award, she
mistake.
was like, I was supposed to kick and step and I forgot. And it's like, but you're getting like an Oscar or whatever she was winning. Like I
Right.
would forget too, but that was like a whole thing. It's like you kick and step. So it's like he's literally like kicking. Just
Right.
I love that we're spending so much time on this, but really his
It's
legs are
fine.
just
Whatever.
so delightful. This is our
Mhm.
show. Like
No, exactly.
his like he's really come around for me. I'm so happy. I'm happy
Yeah,
to take this journey. I'm happy you're all here with me because I
no, fully.
really
And
at
week
first was
over
like, I
week,
don't get it.
like the crowd is also very into him. Like his music
Yeah.
hits and the crowd was like into it. And I like
And
it. I like to see it.
I like his music actually too. It
Yeah.
gives Most Dangerous Man. I'm
Hmm.
here. I'm clocked in. I like it.
And then and week over week he's like improving, like noticeably, which is
Yes.
nice.
I think what you said is so true where he found what worked for him and now he's really leaning into it and it's true it really did work for him so it's continuing to work for him and
Hmm.
now he can like use that as a base and work
Right.
up now.
No, yeah, because it's the like I am this close to being pushed over the edge. Like it's that character. It's like I
Yes,
live in this space
right
and
here.
you and I could be shoved in any direction so easily, which is a
Yes.
danger to you. And I
Yes.
love that.
And you know what I haven't heard him say once in the last few weeks? I don't like bullies.
I don't like bullies.
I'm so
Don't
glad
say
that
it.
is
Just show me.
over.
Just show me you don't
Just
like them.
show me. Thank you. Nuck if you buck. Like that is what I want.
100%.
I don't like bullies. How about I don't like anybody and you're all this close to the edge
Right.
and I will push you.
Right. No, fully. I'm living for this like unhinged
Obsessed. Not this
character.
righteous, I don't like bullies nonsense. How
Yeah.
about I'll just
Like
beat
no
everybody
thanks.
up?
Yeah, save that for like the Patriot or whatever.
Oh,
Um so Ken has a moment where he goes for a cross body and gets caught and we're like, "Ooh baby, just stick to your fighting. You don't gotta get like you don't gotta do too much."
mhm.
Gets caught. He gets tossed into the ring steps for his trouble. Of course, the Iron Sheik on the outside cheats with the flag. I'm not sure which flag. I
Because we didn't
know
see the Sultan enter,
right.
so
Couldn't tell you.
I don't
Then
remember.
Ken Shamrock suplexes the Sheik. Love to see it. And does a
Obsessed.
Hurricane Rana on the Sultan. Crazy.
Gorgeous Hurricane Rana.
Gorgeous.
His body, like convulse like a snake. Like, it was
That
crazy. Like,
body roll, like,
woo!
oh, do you remember the movie Honey?
Of course I remember the movie Honey with
She would
Jessica
have been
Alba.
shook by that body roll.
Shook, the shookening. She would have been wait, speaking of movies that don't hold up, I recently rewatched Step Up and Step Up 2,
Oh
and
God.
someone no, don't do it. If
I
you
the
don't
the
want
only the only scene I want to watch from either
is
of
the
those
end.
movies, pause, is Step Up to the rain
That's the
sequence.
final one. That's
Oh,
the only
that's
one.
with Moose or whatever his name
Yes.
is.
Oh, I will say the playlists for both movies,
Fantastic.
immaculate.
Fantastic.
Immaculata. But it's the second one is and I am a white person, so I will take this L. It's like white people dancing and thinking
Mm,
they're eating,
right.
and they're not. And Moose
Okay.
is the only exception.
Yeah, because he's a legitimate dancer.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I was just like, "Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no." But the rain sequence, they really put all their eggs in that basket, and it was good. I
Because
don't know
it's
why we're
so
talking about
good.
this, but I was thinking about our Hillary Duff experience, and I was like, Honey is one of those movies that somebody on, like, TikTok or something just recently rewatched and did an honest review, and they were like, "This ruined my childhood. I shouldn't have done this."
It really is a dangerous game of like, do I watch this again and have the nostalgia goggles ripped from my face,
I
or do I
know.
just live in ignorance and just hold these like little moments of culture on a pedestal that they
I
just don't belong
know.
on?
Swear, and I can't tell if it's, like, meant for my character development to, like, revisit these and be like, this shouldn't have been your personality, and why was it?" Like,
Right.
I can't tell if it's intrinsic to my character development moving forward or I'm just hurting myself. Like, I don't know yet which one it is. Is it
Hurting.
self-torture? Is it self-improvement?
Stay tuned.
I've yet I swear I've yet to determine which way or another.
Ugh, amen. 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 So, we'll see.
Sorry.
But yeah, Jessica Alba is shook by Ken Shamrock's body roll, hits the
Incredible.
Sultan with the Hurricane Rana, follows up with the ankle lock, which is his finisher, and then the Sultan taps, and Ken adds another victory to
That
his
ankle lock is
crazy.
horrifying.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah.
like
And even like after Ken, the next person who makes it their finisher also is crazy. Like it
mm.
just is a brutal looking move
Yeah, I
because
don't the
your
submission
forearm
moves
is
get
on the
me.
one side of their ankle and like you're twisting it over, and it's like your foot don't bend like that. Like
No, it don't.
regardless of like, it being wrestling and everything, like being state, like it just looks like from a
That
visual standpoint gruesome. Like it looks like it
terrible.
hurts, which
It
is,
do.
those are your best finishers, where they are believable in
They're
that way.
convincing. Yeah, yeah.
Um, so next, what we think we're gonna get is the interview between Stone Cold Steve Austin and JR, which they've been playing like little clips from the whole night. Instead, the Nation of Domination comes out. They make their entrance, and of course, the four of them now looking just stoic as ever. They come
Grease.
down, they point to JR, and they're like, you get in the ring. You get in the ring. You got a job to do.
Yeah, come on. I love
And
this. Love this energy.
no, fully. And honestly, this is one of my favorite Farouk promos,
Yes, I was gonna say that.
as well as this is like the first Rocky promo that sounds like The Rock.
Yes.
And yeah, so he being Farouk, goes in, enters the ring, and he's like, all right, I'm going to answer the question everybody wants to know. What happened to Ahmed Johnson? He's like, what happened to Ahmed Johnson? He's like, basically, and I am going to quote here,
Mhm.
that he is a white man dying to get out. And then he goes on to say, you couldn't be white if they sandblasted you.
20
Um,
times.
yeah. And then which was crazy.
Really a crazy statement.
Essentially, alluding to the fact that Ahmed Johnson wants to be like Shawn Michaels or like Stone Cold Steve Austin. And Farouk's be like, it's never gonna happen. Stop dreaming like that. That's stupid.
So such a crazy thing to say.
Fully.
Oof. But
Absolutely nuts.
it harkens back though to their original beef. Not like the original the kidney blaster, but like
the beef that ensued after, yeah.
Yes, because I'm thinking of some specific things that I will not repeat, that he had said to him
Yeah.
previously, and so it is kind of like
In line
bringing
with
it back around. So it disturbed me, and it's a crazy thing to say, but also I was like, well, like this does kind of it matches up. It doesn't seem like crazy out of the blue now. Not out of the blue, but you know what I mean.
No, fully. And then he goes on to address Savio and Crush in their impending street fight, and he's like, I picked those two up from the trash. The only reason that they have any relevance in the WWF today is because of me. And like, I literally stood there, I was like,
let the bodies hit the
trash.
floor. Let the bodies hit the
No,
like.
so
I pictured him
crazy.
literally like plucking them up out of garbage like this.
No, literally,
By like their
like he
little.
was like going like somewhere, and he's like,
Like it was like they were a little purse that
no,
somebody like left to
fully.
donate on the side of the road, and he was just like,
No,
mm.
fully. Next, we hear from the newest member of the nation, Rocky Maivia. Love to see it.
Yes.
He's like, I have 3 words for you: die, Rocky, die. Which, yeah, and
Makes sense.
he's like, that's the gratitude I get from you pieces of crap. Love to see it. He's like, I was the youngest intercontinental champion in this company's history, and what did it get me? Nada, nothing. And then you can hear the crowd of just being like, Rocky sucks, like over and over and over again. And then he delivers this like iconic line. He's like, Rocky Maivia is a lot of things, but sucks isn't one of them. And you're like,
Love.
love to see it.
He's just like, I feel it happening. Like
Mhm.
he's crowning. He's coming. Like
Fully. He's
just
really becoming The Rock, and I love to see it.
yes.
Basically, he goes on to just be like, this isn't about like my race. This is about respect, and the nation's going to get respect any by any means necessary. And then he goes on to call out the DOA as like for them being like a racist group, like down to their core. And that's when the DOA shows up on the Titantron. They're all just chilling in their little circle on their bikes, what as they do. This is
In
what I
like a
imagine.
garage.
Yeah, this is what I imagine they do like all of the time. Like it's not like this is just how they hang out.
They
It's just
never
like
go anywhere, just they're like
in warehouses. No, they don't ride the bikes. Like,
they sit on them menacingly.
no, fully. And just wait for people to pass. And basically he's like, uh Crush is like, just meet us in the parking lot if you got any guts. And you're like, okay.
You calling
Um,
me Yella?
Yeah, and then of course the nation falls for it, so they go and make their grand exit.
Mm-hmm.
So then we get a very random scene of Goldust and Marlena in their like civvies.
I swear, in an advertisement for the Jersey Shore, and I love to see it. I
No,
do.
fully. I don't get me wrong. As a former New Jersey resident, I do love the all the little flashback scenes of Atlantic City in like the 20s and blah blah blah. Very cute, very nice.
Yeah.
But it was just so
No,
out of
this was
pocket for the rest of the episode because we are just like, oh, okay. I feel
it
like
was go ahead.
no. I was just like, it felt like a dating app commercial. You know what I
Like this could
mean?
be you,
Right, like,
but
I
you're
found my
playing.
soulmate on, like, Christian Mingle, and,
It
and now
did
we
give very
procreated.
Christian Mingle, actually, now that you say it.
Right.
And because Goldust really was giving like cool young youth pastor with like the shirt like
Very
mostly
much so, very
unbuttoned
much
and like
so.
the baggy khakis.
Very, yeah. You can come and talk to me about anything.
No, no. Like personally victimized by a youth pastor, but like And then, but I will say Marlena was wearing pink overalls, and that was kind of a
That was
serve.
very cute. Yeah.
Love.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then Dakota was wearing regular denim overalls.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, just put Dustin in the overalls too. We can be an overall family. Then we're giving the farmers app. I forget what
Oh
it's
my
called.
God.
The farmer dating app. I can't remember.
God, am I supposed to know what that is?
I'm like, you're on there, right? What is it?
I was like, I could not be farther from a farmer, like by any stretch. I look at my nails.
Your nails are more done than mine.
Well, that's only because of your job.
This is true. Yeah. If anyone's ever wondering why, like, I beat my face to God and then have tiny stubby fingernails, it's because of my job. I swear, every time I like hold my hand up, I'm like, I look so incomplete. It's not my fault. But yeah, it really gave whatever. I have to look up the farmers one when we hang up. If anyone knows, comment below. But
If
yeah,
you're
it
on
gave.
there, I want to see your
I'm
profile. So hit a
curious.
screenshot and post it.
Yeah, swear. And does it say like, hey?
Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
Stop,
I'm sorry. I'm
please.
sorry. Okay. Well, oh my God, it was so good to see you guys.
Oh my God, incredible.
Yeah, but it was random, but sure.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Then we cut to Hunter Hearst Helmsley, a little promo, and basically, he's also not pleased with this match. He's like, why am I getting roped into all of this? He's like, and then he goes and alludes to um the curtain call where he goes, Shawn Michaels does the crime, I have to do the time again. And like we think there's gonna be like, like more tea there, like something. And then Vince goes, actually, we have to cut you off. There's something going on. And then like he doesn't even finish the thought before they've already moved on to the backstage parking lot brawl that ensues between the Nation of Domination and the disciples of the apocalypse,
I
correct?
said doilies over appetizers.
Ooh, fun.
That's a
Shouldn't,
good one, right?
shouldn't it be like under though, technically?
I know, but I couldn't it's an O,
Mm.
not a U. I did it should be. And that's the problem when you go to Aunt Cecilia's, she's always doing crazy shit like that.
I got you. I got you.
Anyway, which
Um,
okay, do we think he cut him off because he was like again?
I don't know.
Because I for one second I was like, well, that's annoying and inconvenient, but like because it was happening during his
Mm-hmm.
promo, but then it took like a minute for the action to actually start in the garage. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if he cut early because he was like, oh, not the again. Like,
Oh, oh no,
never
we're
mind,
not
we're
opening
going
that can
now.
of
Yeah.
worms. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know, but
Crazy.
but
I
referencing
love that he did that.
Paul in a promo is pretty bold. Um, considering all of the fallout that was
Yeah, he really
his.
took a big swing there. Big
So
swing.
then it just cuts to the Nation of Domination running up on the disciples of the apocalypse. They're like, brawling, doing what they do. And then all of a sudden in the corner of the screen, you hear the motorcycles turn on and the Boricuas just drive away. Just
Love.
drive away with them. They said,
Just take the
no,
motorcycles.
they were like, oh,
Got
thanks,
you.
guys.
I'm obsessed with that actually.
Mm-hmm. Fully. Yeah, but no, it was great. I was like, what a great little sneaky move. Like, oh, y'all are busy? We got this.
They're like it's and it gave almost like opportunist, like they were hanging out and then they're like, hold up, these
Fully.
bikes are unattended and they're fighting over there. This would be
Right.
fun.
Yeah, no, they said can't wait to see their heads explode.
Love.
So we'll see what happens with that next week. And that takes us into our next match, which is Jesse James. Haven't seen you in a minute. Taking on Brian Pillman. Brian Pillman's in a little lacy gold number this time.
So cute.
Yeah, someone on commentary goes, nice cleavage. And
I think it was Jerry.
yeah, okay.
And
Uh
honestly, I really feel like it was the same gold slip dress. They just stitched a lace ruffle on the top and the bottom to give it's a different dress.
right,
Which
right.
respectfully, I mean, we don't need to buy a new dress every week for this. Like,
No,
let's
no,
just
no. If we're
little
yeah,
little
if we're
magic here and there.
I got it. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it was I was like, okay, go off.
Mhm.
And while he's making his entrance, they do like a little like Pillman in a dress montage over like I don't know, RuPaul's greatest hits. Like it was crazy. I was like, what's
Swear.
happening?
We were going like, "You better work, cover girl." Like, we were just
it fit perfectly, just
it
saying.
did. It really did. And then what's even crazier is that, like, someone made a comment about the music, and Vince goes, "Yes, it's very, like, Johnny Versace." And I was like,
Oh,
"Oh,
okay.
okay, bringing up Johnny Versace on Monday Night Raw is War. Let's go,
Love to
Vince."
see it.
I hate when we agree because you're a satanic individual, but
Listen, well,
Johnny Versace goes over in this house.
a
Like,
good reference is a good reference.
yeah,
So
and I don't know what you want me to say.
just voguing the entire rest of the episode.
I wish. If that's
Um,
one talent I could acquire, it would be voguing.
amen.
You would be sick of me.
Done. So at one point, Jesse James essentially has Pillman in like a hammerlock with his one arm behind him, and he starts like flicking his nip to be a weirdo. Why not? And then at another point in the match, Jesse James just like fully lifts up the dress to expose Pillman's boxers, which are just,
Mhm.
you know, oversized boxers with hearts all over it.
Classic.
Which I mean, they really must have been like, you cannot keep wearing a thong. Like you can't keep doing
Yeah.
that.
And I feel like he was disappointed by that, but
And we all were.
listen.
um, and this match ends in just what I found the most hilarious way possible. Goldust and Marlena make their
Good.
way down to the ring. Goldust so slowly and nonchalantly just slides into the ring, walks over, and elbow drops Jesse James. Uh,
Lackadaisically.
no, like could not have been more like. "Hmm." And then, of course, that forces the disqualification on Jesse James's behalf. So he wins the match, and Pillman has to wear a dress again. Um,
Obsessed. I love the juxtaposition of like um Goldust and Marlena and Dakota like la 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 on the beach and playing in the waves, and they're just a normal family, to like the psychological warfare they play inside the building, like emotionally traumatizing Brian Pillman with like making him wrestle in a dress.
no, fully.
We are all so multifaceted, you
No,
know? No one is one thing,
we all
right?
contain multitudes.
I
Um,
swear.
so yeah, so Michael Cole runs out with his little microphone, gets in Goldust's face. He's like, "So, like, what's the deal? Like, why are you doing this?" And Goldust is like, "I. What do you mean? That's funny. I want to see it again."
Yeah,
Like,
and you know what? Sometimes that's the only reason you need. It's so silly.
he said,
Why
"Not
wouldn't
right." He's
it?
like, "What do you mean? Haha." He said, "For shits and gigs. What do you
Are
mean?"
you not did you not see it? Look,
Right.
look. It's so funny.
Love to see it. Then Pillman grabs the microphone and challenges Goldust to a match. The stipulation essentially is if Pillman loses, he will leave the WWF forever. And Pillman wants Goldust, if he loses, to put Marlena's, I guess, managerial services on the line for a month.
And he
Um,
said, like, I have access to her 24 hours a day.
which is
Like,
not what an assistant or manager does, but
yes,
sure.
unless like maybe you're like Chris Jenner's assistant, but
Yeah,
that's
which
different.
right,
That's working
that's
for a different demon I don't even wanna talk about. I was
no,
actually there was a podcast and they were like, "Oh, you know those, like, witches over there in Calabasas?" Like, there were, like, drag queens talking, they're like, "You see these people, then there's those witches up there in Calabasas," and I was like, "Oh,
oh, it's
oh."
true. It's
But
true.
they didn't even mean witches like bad people, they meant witches as in, like, legit, like, witches, like,
Yeah.
tarot spells, like, it was so funny.
um, yeah, I mean, I call Kris Jenner the most successful pimp that ever lived because I'm pretty sure she sold her soul to the devil long, long ago.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
mhm,
Yeah, mhm, like Benny Drama always, like, with the
mm.
like, portrays Kris Jenner with, like, just, like, the devil hands. I'll have to show it to you, but
Oh, that's
so
fantastic.
funny.
I
But
love that.
I will say this, the challenge and the stipulation is good, and what they were trying to say was good, but it was constantly going for the high five and missing. It was like
Mm.
it was just not it was weird.
It was
It was like
not delivered well.
yes. They
Yeah.
couldn't make fetch happen. It just kept getting like
Yeah, like lots of like false starts. It's at one point Pillman like stumbles over like what he's trying to get into and just kind of like repeats something he said like earlier in the promo.
yeah.
And basically Goldust is like, I'm not gonna do that. That's dumb. That's my wife. I'm not letting you near her.
Mhm.
And then Pillman, being an absolute insane person, is like, so you know your little daughter? Actually, she's mine. So, which is nuts and something that definitely should have been a bigger deal.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It was like because there was so much like verbal like chop blockery, like
Right,
it almost got lost. And I was like, because he was like, "That's my love child with Marlena."
right,
And at first of all, I like, here's my thing. As Goldust, I would have been like, that is so outlandish and untrue. I'm not even gonna get upset. Like, I'm just gonna be
right,
like, okay, you're a psycho. Like, we're definitely not.
right.
But Goldust, as he do, take it personally, go after Brian, la la la. And Marlena's trying to like yell over the
The hubbub,
fighting, the
yeah,
hubbub, the hullabaloo, if you
if you
will.
will.
And just is like, we accept your challenge. We accept your Did you hear me? We accept
Right.
your
Is this thing
challenge. We'll
on?
do it. Yeah, I feel really bad. And you know, you guys know I love Marlena, but she was like, no, we'll do it. We will do it. Yep.
Yeah, and it's just like, which makes you be like, is he telling the truth? Like, why is she doing this?
Right? She's like, no, 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 no. Shh, shh, shh. No, I'll do it. We'll do it. We'll do it. It's fine. It's not even a big
Right.
deal. Ugh. Like,
Ooh.
I know. And now, Marlena, I don't want to look at you sideways. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I already have to look down because you're so petite. Like, I don't
Right.
want to have to go like,
No, fully.
what are you
I'm not.
doing?
I was like, do anything else, and we have to start squinting, make it like it's an abstract painting at this point. Just like,
Yeah, like
what is that?
I see the influences of the time period.
Sure.
Oh, girl. And also
Um.
a love child with Brian Pillman, not me.
Oh my god, that'd be
Not I.
crazy.
That's no.
Mm-mm, that child is unwell. So next we have Vader taking on the Patriot. We get a quick little Vader promo. Basically, he's like red, white, and blue, more like black and blue. Am I right? And that's essentially essentially the promo.
No, that's all it is. And you know what? Fine.
Fine, fine.
I don't need
Obviously, he said it like Vader, not like me.
not you, which I
But
wish he had been like, "Phew, am I right, you guys?" Like that would have been hysterical.
so ridiculous. So this match is going to be like a hard hitting contest. Vader, big boy. The Patriot, also big boy. Just generally. Bret Hart comes down to get a closer look, which prompts like a little flag off as they do. Yeah. On commentary, they kind of go into how both Vader and Del Wilkes, the Patriot, are were both big in Japan. They both have a huge following over there, and
Mm,
uh, that's kind of how they made their way here.
heard.
Um, which you kind of need to explain to uh, bestow credibility on the
On the
Patriot,
Patriot.
because
Thank
we have
you.
literally just been like,
Who
"Who
dis?
are you?"
And do we think he's the Patriot in Japan?
I don't think so. I think he was a different character.
Hmm.
I don't know his history too well, but I'm pretty sure it was a different character.
Word.
Um, and there's like maybe like 4 pictures of this man's face. I
Yeah.
did a little
I kind of
hunt.
remember talking about this where we were like, who is
Right.
this?
Mhm, mhm,
And if there's
mhm.
only 4 pictures of him, of his face, doesn't bode well.
Right. Um, or at least from that like time period. There's a lot more from when he's like older, like later in life. He passed
Heard.
in 2021, but like
Oh.
so there's like photos from like around there. But like from like 19 like there's barely like anything. There's like old college football photos and then like a couple pictures in Japan and then like one where he's like there's just like a side profile of him like holding the Patriot like mask, and I was like,
Oh
oh,
no.
I was like, this isn't Hamlet.
Alas, poor Yorick. I knew him
um,
well.
I was just like, but yeah, there's not a ton of him out there. So I love this line that JR says that the Patriot needs to make hay while the sun shines.
Love.
Um
I don't, which just tickled me.
Yeah, which was talking about the Patriot making the most of an opportunity while Vader was like down.
Make
We find
hay.
out that the Patriots finishing move is called the Uncle Slam. It's a full Nelson suplex. Is it has a title. But
I didn't hear that.
yes, yes.
That sounds like something you'd order at Denny's.
Can I get the Uncle Slam? And you're like, sure.
It's
It's
a
like
special for the
four.
month of July.
No, no, absolutely. Yeah. It's just like a banana split that's like dyed red, white, and blue.
I was gonna say it was like blueberry pancakes, bacon, OJ,
And
and
like
like
strawberry jam. Like
yes, yes,
uh
or like a strawberry biscuit or something.
mm. But still,
Daddy used to call me.
but
No.
still, he said the Uncle Slam, and I was like, that's so dumb. I hate that is so dumb. I hate that.
It's like okay, it's not my least favorite thing. Like in terms of his character, it could have been
A lot of
so much worse, I think. But
yeah.
that just made me hee hee. That's
Oh
Uncle
yeah.
Slam.
So crazy. So yeah, so after the match, the Patriot starts like making his way outside of the ring to confront Bret Hart. Why you would turn your back on that 400-pound man in
Oh,
there is crazy.
crazy.
Because of course Vader gets his.
Duh.
Right. One thing we know about Vader, he don't stay down for long. So
No, they literally call him the Mastodon.
right.
And you're gonna go like, well, got that one.
Out
Like,
of the
you're
way.
crazy, girl.
Yeah, so Vader's attacking from behind. Brett comes in. Vader's about to do like a Vader bomb, and Brett's like, hold on, I must." Like, and just lays the Canadian flag over Del Wilkes's body, and you see Vader turn around. He gets off of the rope and he goes, "What the fuck are you doing?" Like, you hear it on camera. He's like,
So
"What
good.
is this?"
Like, what is it, night time? You're tucking him into bed with the Canadian
He's like,
flag?
"What
Like,
is this?" Also, I did this.
what
You
are you
didn't
even
do any
doing
of
here?
this.
Yeah, I
So
love
like,
that.
weird that you're out here trying to take credit and then pass the credit to Canada.
Yeah,
Weird. So he takes the Canadian flag, snaps it in half.
work
Love
turned
to
me
see it.
out. He was just like,
And of course, something in Brett snaps because, like, God forbid anybody say anything about Canada that is
uh,
at all disparaging. So he snaps, they start fighting, and we're like, he's not your beef. Your beef is the other one. Like,
I
the other one has a
swear.
title shot. Like, you did the weird thing and had a consequence. You like, I don't know what
You
this
got a
is.
slap on the wrist, and now suddenly everyone like
Yeah,
it's the drama,
I
But
know.
Vader snapping that Canadian flag turned me out. I was like, how has nobody done this yet?
Right. It was
It,
fantastic. I just love
ugh,
that, like, on camera, like, they caught him just being like, "What the
what the
fuck
fuck?
are you doing?" Like, and you're like, "Oh, shoot."
Vader has really grown on me. He's
No.
another one that really I'm like, I love to see him like I'm like,
Mhm.
hey boo, how you doing? And he just like does he was like, I will beat up anybody if you are in my way. He's very like cut and dry about
Right.
who he's beefing with and the way he
Mhm.
goes about it. And I like that.
No, I agree. I agree. No bones about him, you know? It
Yes.
is it it's
Yep.
all beef.
Is I was just gonna say he is all beef.
Of course, the rest of the Hart Foundation comes out. Well, not the rest. Owen and the Bulldog. I guess Pillman's just too busy in that dress to worry about it. Go ahead.
This I just reminded me. Thank you for saying this. While we were watching the episode, I go, you know what I just remembered? Where is Jim Neidhart? because we haven't seen him in a minute. And one of the stipulations of whatever was it SummerSlam? If one of them lost, which they did, he had to shave that goatee.
Where?
Where is he? Because I know that goatee is still on his face. And that enrages me because I don't like that.
That's what I'm saying. My thing is like, if you're gonna speak up, which you didn't have to, by the way.
First
of all, you stuck your nose all up in this. You didn't have a match. You didn't have to talk, but you out here said, if I have such confidence in them, if two of them lost. Hello? Where? I should be hearing. Yes. Yes. That's what I should be hearing right now. I don't, where are you? No. I don't understand this bitch ass behavior. I don't like that.
Nut up or shut up.
Thank you.
Nut up or shut up. Because you didn't shut up and now you have to nut up.
That's what I'm saying.
I want to see that hair
Pillman's
in the trash.
out here every week.
Thank you.
In a skimpier dress. So let's not.
And somehow he's quote unquote not in the Hart Foundation still. And then what are you? Where are you? When are you? The five Y's or the 5 W's.
No, where am I? Let's go.
Because I better see that face glistening clean next time I see you. And if I don't, you just really
You lost it. You lost me.
You lost me. And you never really had me to begin with, but now you never will.
Right. So that takes us in. So Sergeant Slaughter comes out, of course, as he does, throws his weight around, starts yelling at Brett. Everything gets kind of broken up after that. Next, we have the Stone Cold interview with Jim Ross. This is fantastic. This is a fantastic interview. Of course, we get the recap from SummerSlam, where we once again have to watch Stone Cold get his neck broken 5 ways from Sunday.
Oh my God.
Every angle this time. They said all of them. They wanted it all.
My eye just twitched so violently. I don't know.
It was crazy.
Like, thinking about it, every angle, slow-mo. And they were literally going, now let's look at it from this side. Now let's go over here. Let's slow it down and stop it right at the moment of impact and show you. And I was like, please.
Don't. Please. Stop.
I've seen it. I've seen enough. I can't do it. I'm just a girl. Fully. I don't want to see his neck get broken. You and Gwen Stefani
both.
Swear. I'll have to be in the same category as Gwenny. Hey.
So JR asks Stone Cold, he's like, so I want to ask you, like, basically Stone Cold's like, this is a stupid hotel room. These little fruit baskets are dumb. Starts throwing shit like around the ring.
Fruit, yeah.
And then he goes to JR, who hasn't even had an opportunity to ask a question. Who's like, he just goes, if you're gonna ask questions, now's the time, because like I'm getting kind of sick of you. And JR's like, okay. So JR's like, okay, so 3 things. SummerSlam, have you talked to the doctors? What does your future hold? And basically Stone Cold's like, SummerSlam, I'm the champion. What else do you need to know? And we were like, oh, okay. And then he does talk about like the injury, and essentially, he talks about it, is scary when you get dropped on your head and you can't move.
And you are temporarily paralyzed. Yeah.
Right. But he's like, doesn't really matter what the doctors say. I'm going to do what I'm going to do anyway. So yeah, I'm out here seeing doctors doing what I have to do, but like that changes nothing. All this has essentially done is piss me off more than I already was. I was already in this, like, this company's holding me down, like, mindset. Now I'm pissed. Like, now I have reason to be extra foamy at the mouth. You know what I mean?
So crazy.
And he addresses Owen, and he's like, one way or another, Owen has got hell to pay. He's like, if it's my last act, he's getting the shit kicked out of him. And we're like, and you know what? I love that, because like I would too.
Yeah.
I love Owen, but I would too.
I
Like,
absolutely, absolutely, no bones about it. If it's my last thing I do on this earth, I'm getting my lick back
right. Thank you.
in a real way.
And he's like, and what does the future hold for Stone Cold? He's like, I'm gonna do what I do. I'm gonna put on my little black trunks and my little black boots, and I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna kick some ass. End of story. And you're like,
Obsessed.
love to see it.
It was so good because he doesn't stutter, stammer, lose his way, lose the plot at any point. And
Mm-mm.
he talked a decent amount.
And he threw
And
in like quips at JR, and like
yes.
it was great.
And there were parts that were really real in it where he was like, it took me 8 years to get where I'm at. And so if you think I'm going to stop now, like you're crazy.
Right.
Like there were little moments of like reality in there
Mm-hmm.
that like just added to how good it was, like
Right.
how
It like
thick the
punctuated the
plot is.
feeling, you know?
Yes, like it just felt so real because it is. Like like
Mm-hmm.
this is such an insane thing that happened to him. I cannot believe that this happened.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it's a masterclass. I mean, and he's in the ugliest hotel room I've ever seen in my life.
No, fully.
And it's just so good. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's amazing. I love that guy.
Oh, love to see it. So we'll see what happens with Steve Austin. He's like, I will be in that stupid fatal four-way match, so I'll see it end, basically.
Crazy.
Ugh. Um, so next we have our main event, which is Shawn Michaels and Hunter Hearst Helmsley with China and Rick Rude taking on Mankind and The Undertaker.
Crazy.
Crazy, 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 crazy. This match was fantastic. Love to see it. All four parties, or really six parties, are great at what they do. Shawn Michaels comes out and gyrates on China. Crazy, 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 crazy.
How she
China
kept a
no
straight
sells that
face.
shit so well.
So good.
The way she's like one of those like guards at Buckingham Palace. Like she you don't break
Yes.
her.
You cannot phase her in the slightest. Like I didn't even see like oh man, she's trying not to laugh. Like she was just like, okay,
Yeah, no, fully,
I
fully.
love her.
That is the face of a woman who has had to fend off way too many gross men at a bar.
And I know her.
She's the where you can't even like feign amusement because then they take it as something that it isn't. So you just have to
Ugh.
be like, I'm disgusted with you. Like,
Yeah, you can't even be polite. You have
no,
to be like, fuck off. Sorry. But like you have to be
yeah,
like and they're like, ugh, and it's like because
no,
I'll be like, oh, excuse me, and you'll be like,
no,
and it's
no, never that.
sorry.
No, I agree. Shawn has a hilarious moment where he literally goes to the cameraman, like into the camera. He's like, no, 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 you give me the camera and you wrestle. How about that? Like, and we're like,
Yeah,
oh,
love.
fantastic.
I love it.
Because it really like lays like the seeds of like Shawn is terrified of the Undertaker. They
As we
have
all
not
should be.
they have not crossed paths ever. Um, as far as like in a, like a one-on-one capacity, and I think it's kind of great that they have been in this company, both of them, since well, Taker 1990, Shawn a little bit before that. Um, but 6 or 7 years, and they've not crossed paths like that.
I could not believe that when he said it. He's like, I've never, because Shawn Michaels said it in his little like promo earlier in the night, was like, oh yeah, I've never had to face The Undertaker. I thought my first time would be at SummerSlam, and now it's going to be in this like stupid, like put together tag team match, which
Right.
is crazy. But
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that can't be true. That's like got to
Mm-hmm.
be impossible, but
Yeah.
impossible is nothing. Like,
No. Yeah. Um, Shawn Michaels also does something crazy on the ring apron before the match, like as the match is like beginning. He does like this like BJ motion like to the crowd with like the world's
the
largest yak yak
largest
yak.
dick.
Like, yeah, it was crazy. I was like, hello. I was like, what is this? And it's
And
like
he
he's
like,
what are you in a
bo-
jazz band? Like that's
I
crazy.
said,
Like,
I was like, it looks like he's playing the trombone, but he like handled the,
yeah,
he, there was
there was a lot.
There
There was
was
a lot there.
knowledge there.
Yeah.
There was
There
knowledge
was
and
know-how.
understanding. Yeah. There was there was a little technique. I think proportionally it was not correct. But
But I mean, if you're if you're trying to get your point across, you
make it large.
they say, you play to the back of the room, you play to the you play to the nosebleeds. So I mean, if
And
you
you
want
could
them
not
to,
mistake that.
no, absolutely not. Mm-mm. I'm like, who are you
We
blowing
were both.
Snuffleupagus, you fucking weirdo? That's crazy. Like, why is it so big? Like, that's crazy.
It was so shocked because at first he was doing the suck it thing, and then
Right.
suddenly he was sucking it. Like,
No, fully. I was like, oh,
and
okay, Sean.
we were both like, we looked at each other like scandalized. Like, we're not disgusting, but we were like, oh.
No, because it was just like so random. You're just like, okay, sure, go off.
It was the fondling motion for me. I was like,
okay, he said tickle tickle. uh so
no, not
uh this match was
oh.
fantastic. It was absolutely great. We do see that Shawn and Hunter end up being a far better team than either of them really thought, which we love to see, and what we know going forward, they will be.
Yeah,
So that's fantastic to see, especially like it's fun to see the seeds of Degeneration X like being planted,
I
because as far
know.
as my wrestling knowledge as like a child goes, like they were a thing the whole time, like they were just there.
Yes. Oh, so we're like experiencing this together.
Yeah, so like I like know that it happened, and like I've seen a lot of these like promos and things like out of context, but this is really the first time I'm seeing it like in a continuous kind of fashion, because again, I was 3 years old.
Love.
So, yeah, this match was fantastic. It's a lot of isolating Mankind, because Shawn wants nothing to do with Taker. So, which is a fun, like, it's like a storytelling point in the match, which just goes to show how good Shawn Michaels is, in that like you get that he fears him from the promo, you get that he fears him from like the way that they interact like in the ring, and you get throughout the match that like he does not want to be in the ring when
In the
Undertaker
ring.
is there.
So
So
true.
it's telling this like whole story that will eventually lead to their match, which will
I love
eventually
it.
lead to a bigger match. So um it's great. Lots of seeds being planted. The storytelling between the two, love to see it. I do have this one note though, where Shawn Michaels starts getting a little cocky because the match is going well, and then he goes over to the Undertaker in the corner and starts like taunting him, and you go, "That's not a good idea, baby."
That he went
Yeah. Oh,
like
as he
spirit
does.
fingered in his face.
Crazy. I have a note that says, oh, this one was crazy. So Hunter goes to do the pedigree on Mankind. Mankind reverses it, drops Hunter onto his back. Hunter goes and just double boots Mankind into the corner. He Mankind hits the corner, falls directly into Hunter's nuts.
With
I
his
was
that cranium.
Oh, it was absolutely bonkers.
That whole
Um,
sequence was so good.
crazy. So the Undertaker gets a hot tag after that point, and it's just inescapable for Shawn. At one point, he's in the Hangman, which is when the Undertaker like lifts him up by the throat and just lifts him up. And we see Rude coming up behind the Undertaker with a chair. The Undertaker spots him. Rude drops that shit so fast. He's like, "Oh, me? Not me. Could be me."
Not me. Which that's
Uh,
your insurance policy?
right. So Rick Rude enters the ring. The Undertaker follows him. Shawn grabs the chair
Girl.
and smacks the Undertaker so hard,
So hard.
causing the disqualification, busting the Undertaker open. And we're like, okay, he got his lick in. Great. No. The
Nope.
Undertaker sits up, bloodied face and all. Shawn goes, okay, and rears back and
Bah.
smacks him again. And
This
you're like,
chair was like this, like
indented.
concave.
Yeah, the Undertaker's cranium was fully in that.
Mm-hmm.
So and then you see like the Undertaker starts like stirring, and the camera cuts to Hunter and Shawn, and Triple H is like, "We have to leave now. We have to go right now."
Yep.
And
If anyone
and they
knows how to turn
hightail it out of
tail,
there.
yes,
Yeah.
it's Triple H.
No, fully. If it, actually, that is a very consistent thing throughout his entire career. He's a well, he knows his
He's
timing. He picks his
he's a
spots.
skedaddler. He
Yeah,
knows when to.
no, fully. He later on in his career becomes known as like the cerebral assassin because he's very much a thinking man's wrestler. Like he likes the mind games. He likes to pick his spot. He likes to make sure that the advantages are in his wheelhouse before he even makes it out there.
Love.
So we love to see it. We love to see the formation of D-Generation X. We love to see The Rock coming into his own. The Undertaker, honestly, no progression on the Undertaker Kane front, but
Mhm.
I think that's because they're trying to focus more on the Undertaker Shawn feud for the time being.
Makes
But we'll
sense.
we'll see. Next week they could have something, but we are about like a month or two out from meeting Kane.
So crazy. I still think we have a month still.
Mhm.
God, for one minute I was like, wow. And then I was like, oh my God, a month?
Mhm.
At least I know it's coming. Like, I don't know how I try and put myself like in the shoes of the people who actually experienced live. You had no idea.
No idea.
Like, you're like, any week could be the week.
Right.
And then it just kept
So you tune
not
in
being the
to
week.
yeah, yeah.
Ugh,
It's good. I
no.
mean, it's smart television.
Oh, it is. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
But
but
still.
all right, guys. So that's where they leave us on this week's episode. It's the Undertaker just kind of um licking his wounds. They have like a close up on the broken ass chair in the middle of
With
the
his
ring.
blood on it. Yeah.
But yeah. So this has been another edition of the New to Wrestling podcast. Thank you for watching, listening, subscribing, commenting wherever you do all of those things. We appreciate it. It goes a long way. And we will catch you next week.
We'll see you there.
Bye.
Bye.